A woman who was sentenced to 6 years in prison last month after a child in her care drowned has been released.
That's after Adrienne Hudson's attorneys withdrew her guilty plea, saying that what was promised in the plea deal wasn't delivered.
Corey McRae has more on her case and how this is all playing out in the courtroom. Good evening, Corey.
Derek Madison, good evening. Yes, pretrial date has been set for December 11th, but both a law expert and a law professor I spoke to both said that this could go a number of different directions, but ultimately it's the judge who makes the final call. Adrienne Hudson pled guilty in August in connection to the drowning death of a child in her care back in 2023. Hudson was watching a family member's child, later identified as 1-year-old London Kaysen, and left to talk with the relative for about 5 minutes. She returned to find that the little girl had fallen into a swimming pool in the yard. Kaysen later died in the hospital. After the sentencing in October, defense attorneys filed a motion to withdraw the guilty plea, arguing that Hudson entered on the promise of a 5-year minimum sentence, and that because a 6-year sentence was ultimately imposed, that the plea Hudson entered into was unknowing.
There is a provision in the rules of criminal procedure that allow for a defendant to withdraw a guilty plea, but it is very unusual for a judge to allow a defendant to withdraw a guilty plea.
Based on the ruling of Judge Sweeney, she agreed that, in fact, this wasn't a knowing and intelligent plea because this defendant was expecting one thing 5 years and got something different 6 years.
Mangino says this case could go a number of different directions from here.
This may be on track for trial because there's a pretrial on December 11th. Do you negotiate a new plea agreement? Do you negotiate a plea agreement that makes it clear that the court could go beyond what's being recommended by the prosecutor?
With more local news, I'm Corey McRae.